Live from YouTube. It's
Oh,
Patriot Thursday night. Here we go.
what's up, ladies and
Here we
gentlemen?
go.
Are we live?
We're live. Yep, just got notification. So,
Nice.
happy Thursday, everybody. Got Doc Ron in the house this week.
Ooh, glad to be here.
Tonight would be some good time for medical questions.
For Rizzle.
Because Doc can maybe give you some. What's up, Max? Max is on there.
I'm not going to give all the secrets away until they come to prepared Peppermint class. That's when the secrets will come out.
Ron's
you got to
brain.
tease them a little bit. What is going on tonight, guys? If there's anything you want to talk about, just put it in the comments. If you're watching with us, go ahead and leave us a comment. Let us know what's up. It'll take us a second to get kind of up and rolling here, Max.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do the pleasantries. Got Eagle 2 here. We got Eagle 1 in the house, and we got Doc Ron, our Chief Medical Officer, Prepared Patriot. So anyway, always like to rock out some classes. We got a pretty good group of folks coming in this Saturday. We're doing our version of concealed carry, comprehensive concealed carry. So we're sitting at a pretty good sized group for that class. We're also offering that class on August 21st, as well as September 11th. And then we've already talked about Prepper Med. Unfortunately, that class is sold out for you folks that delayed in registration. We do have we're still working towards our medical preparedness class for local law enforcement officers. I believe that's Saturday, August 14th. I forgot to write that one down on my list, but also have some advanced training opportunities for you guys. If you've been carrying for a while and you want to kind of work on upping your skills and tactics and sharpening that mindset, we'd invite you to come out to Prepared Pistol 1. That will be on September 12th. And we have one more date after that, November 13th for 2021. So, and then we've got Prepared Pistol 2 in October. And we're going to be rocking out a preparedness bug out bag class, preparedness 101 class. That's later in the fall. And then hopefully one more medical low light class before we round out the year. So all kinds of things in the works. I've already been starting to conceptualize the schedule for next year. It's going to be the busiest of busy years. It's already looking tough to negotiate. So, but anyway, that's enough about the schedule. I'm going to shut up and work on sharing the link around the socials. Again, if you're new to us, check us out on Prepare Patriot NC across the board, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever your poison is, we're on there. And if you're watching this back, and for all the folks that are live tonight, make sure you hit that like button on our YouTube channel and set your notifications to all. We'd love to have you join the family. All right, I'm going to shut it now.
So, since nobody's brought up any real topics tonight, we're just going to be kind of going off the cusp. We ain't seen each other in a little bit, so we're just going to talk about some current events, that kind of thing. If there's anything that you guys, like I said, want to discuss, just put it in the comments and we'll try to address it and answer questions and that kind of thing. So the one thing I wanted to kind of ask y'all about, did y'all happen to see the whole standout in Massachusetts, I think it was? Did y'all happen to see that between the rise of the Mowers and all that stuff?
Yeah, I think it popped on the news maybe last Saturday. I was at the what do you call that? Hair? I don't even want to call it hair salon, but I guess it was technically a hair salon, and I was reading about it, waiting to be seen. But anyway, I did see. I think that's when it popped. But go ahead and share some of the details.
Well, I don't know that much. That's why I was asking. I did see that. I want to say that it was a group of, how is it they're put, U.S. nationalists. They weren't U.S. citizens. They're nationalists. So they're living here with permission and following the law and all that stuff. But they were on their way to train, which all of us in the training community are familiar with. You know, you're going loaded for bear, man. Like, you got all kinds of ammo and gear, and all, especially depending on what class you're taking, you could have like a whole bunch of stuff. And apparently they were stopped trying to refuel and was approached by law enforcement, turned into a whole big standoff ordeal, like a huge problem. I don't think it ever went violent, but it had a lot of potential to. And I think the thing that they were trying to say about it was that there was no reason for a stop by law enforcement, other than it being in one of the non-free states where the law enforcement tends to stop for any gun for any reason. It almost seems like you are.
I feel like I vaguely remember them getting stopped in Massachusetts. They're on their way to Maine.
They were
maybe
on their way to their own private property to train. So they had like full kits on, and like they were, getting ready to train. I do wonder why. Well, I don't want to even go there, but we'll just say it was an interesting event, and it could happen to anyone training. Like any of us could be stopped and have like a whole bunch of guns and gear and stuff in there. Obviously, if you live in a free country, in a free state where we're at, it's technically still free for the time being, as long as we can keep it anyway.
Yeah, that's why usually when we're talking in a comprehensive concealed carry class, and we touch on the subject of concealed carry reciprocity, we usually say you're pretty good to go south and west, but don't go northeast.
Yeah, pretty much stay out of that area. But yeah, it was interesting, that whole event, and I don't even know how it turned out, if it ever ended peaceably or what. I don't know I only got bits and pieces of it, so I'm not real sure exactly what was going on there. But it was an interesting event. I don't know if you got to read up on it, Ron, or not, but basically they got stopped for looking suspicious with guns, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, Max, we get you, man. I mean, most of us try to roll as prepared as we can. We won't say what we're carrying and all that, and I wouldn't say that. You do you, man, but I don't want people knowing exactly what I got all the time. But yeah, it was interesting. I mean, any one of us could be in that situation where we're off to train and roll into a store to get something to eat, or get gas and fuel on the way or whatever, and it turns into something ugly. It was very interesting to see how it was handled. And in the news, it's also, this is the part that bugs me the most. It's always the news in a negative light for the gun community, always. And y'all know this, like I'm preaching to the choir.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, from what we know, if in fact they were kind of traveling in full kit, not that it's anybody's business what people travel in, and we don't give a crap, but is there maybe a mindset piece missing for that group?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so, because from what I saw, they were trying their best not to even stop. They had extra fuel cans and all kinds of stuff to make sure they were not stopped. They were not causing any problems for the public. Like, they were trying their best to like get A to B without being a problem. However, that being said, when you step out of a car in full kit with rifles, gear on, you're going to draw attention. You could discuss tactics, and maybe their mindset wasn't great, but I don't know, man. Richard says they were already stopped and fueling. That's what I thought. The outcome is every single person is charged with violating firearms laws and possible commitment crime. I don't know how that works for them being U.S. nationals and that kind of stuff. I don't know. So he said, why would you be in full kit if you weren't trying to get attention? Well, there again, there are reasons.
I know that's the point I was talking about.
I mean, there are reasons. I'm not saying that I think the point is they shouldn't have been messed with if they're not doing anything wrong. I agree with that. But I also think that tactfully, there's a reason why, like, let's just say civilian contractors who are in other places try to look the part of the people. They try to blend in. They try not to draw attention for that reason. You don't want people to know what you're doing, how you're doing it. That's kind of the point there, is that, most of us are smart enough to try to be somewhat tactful in how we present ourselves and that kind of thing. But it's an interesting topic and how it folded out and how the news portrayed them. They're national, they're sovereign citizens and they're this and that. And they don't, agree with, they're anti-government and all that stuff. I thought it was interesting how they portrayed them out.
Yeah.
But it looks like they were very much peaceful. They weren't. And it also, I don't know how the story changed throughout the time, but the first reports I heard was they were in the woods, like hid out, like, I don't know, man. It was crazy. It was a crazy event. It was something to talk about for sure. So I do think there's something to be said. It's also the reason why, we as a company discourage open carry. It's the same thing. Like, why show them all your cards? Like, why give them everything at first glance? Like, play your cards close, be tactful. Don't let people even see or know what's going on until it's too late. That's kind of the theory that, we roll by.
Well, the new red flag laws that a lot of places are starting to enact now. It only takes one person to pick the phone up and say, "Hey, I saw this guy walking around out here with a firearm outside of his pants, and he scared me. So somebody needs to come over here and do something." And anybody can make a call and complain now about a person just because they didn't like the way they said good morning to them, and can have law enforcement, on their doorstep in a moment's notice without any true reason. So that's another thing we need to be cognizant of, that red flag laws are not going to be user friendly. I mean, they're designed to come in and eliminate a threat before it gets started, even if there's never been a threat leveled. If someone perceives it or imagines it as a threat, then they can call and report. And so a lot of these states that are adopting these red flag laws are, I'm afraid it's not going to end well.
So there is a difference between the red flag laws and kind of where those guys were at. They're in a little bit different scenario there. But it is, to me, red flag laws are basically the modern day witch trials.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like anything goes in that scenario.
Right.
But in this case, Cran's kind of hit on something here. He's like, if you're pulled over on the side of the highway fueling up, it's the cop's duty to stop and make sure you're okay. I have a feeling they pushed it farther than they needed to go. So yes and no, John Kranz. As a police officer, I will tell you, you do not have to stop, but it's kind of frowned upon if you're a police officer not to stop and help other people. Like, that's kind of our job, right? So obviously I don't have any problems with the cops pulling over and checking on the guys, but like, if the dudes were being super cool about it, they're very anti-confrontational, ask a few questions, you look in there, you see they got camping gear, you see they got all their gear in there, like they're getting ready to go somewhere. I get it. Like, there is the potential of these guys could be going to do something bad. But that's the problem. People think police officers are going to stop the problem. That's not the case at all. They enforce the law. They come after the problem has already happened 99% of the time. So the thing is, if somebody hasn't committed a crime, there's nothing there. Now, this is not legal advice, and I know some people are going to blow this up, but it's always officer discretion of what you do, right? Like, I can choose to do whatever's right at the time, right? So, I mean, I guess there's a way that it could have been handled maybe that would have been more appropriate. But I also agree with the guys that are there. Like, you shouldn't be able to just come up and stop anybody for nothing. I don't know. It's an interesting situation. And we obviously don't have all the details, and we're speculating, and we got all kinds. It's just a fun topic to kind of play with and let get y'all's thoughts on, because it's interesting to me where these guys, where people go. And like for us, we assume everyone thinks like us, and it's just not true at all. You know, the majority of people think the opposite direction. You know, they feel like guns are, you know, that whole guns are bad thing, and like, you know, we push the boundaries. To most people, we could be the extremists, so to speak, because we believe in self-protection, and it's your own responsibility to do so. And if you remember back to the American Revolution and how our country was formed, that was the principle that started it all. You know, Minutemen and militia, and being able to protect yourself and your home and your family and your country. That's what it's about. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting to see where things have changed. Richard says Jared from Guns and Gadgets was doing updates as he got them Saturday morning. Officers stopped, no reason whatsoever, and some of them freak out and ran into the woods, but they were already stopped to fuel. Okay. So they kind of acted a little bit sketchy running into the woods. That was a little bit, probably not the best move. Again, not a crime though. Like, it's not a crime to run away. What's up, Scott? What's up, Mike Kalakis?
All kinds of friends up in the house tonight.
If y'all are on here watching, share this stuff out, man. That's how we get people to come and pay attention and subscribe to the channel and all that stuff.
Rocking the red Solo Cup tonight.
And Richard says NC still has the call of terror to the public on the books, meaning, and you sent open carry and what the fuck are you talking about, Richard? I know what he's trying to say. What he's talking about is going to the terror of the public. That is a law in North Carolina and can get you in trouble, but generally requires a complaint. You know, dudes on the side of the road, if they stopped without any call, that changes that a little bit. If somebody had passed driving by, saw it, called in a complaint, now it's a different scenario. Again, it's hard. You can never armchair quarterback any of these things because you don't know all the details. You know, they keep that stuff kind of to a minimum in the news and stuff, so you don't know what happened. Scott says, "Where's Jerry and his new Tiffany blue blaster scabbard?" Jerry's out visiting his pops. We'll just say he's a little occupied at the moment. So I don't know if he'll make it in tonight, guys. Just be praying for him and his family. Jason says, I still don't have a damn wrench. What you talking about, Jason? Oh, yeah. Jason likes to ban people too much. I'll hook you up with a wrench, Jason. I didn't realize you had not got one.
Yes, Jason, we are talking about the Mowers.
Yeah, we were discussing it some, just how it was interesting.
I saw Tactical Bits check in a couple minutes ago.
Ariel, your husband freaking text messaged me right before the live stream. I'm gonna kick his ass. Tell him that I'll have to answer him. I'll have to answer him whenever I get back, unless he wants to ask on here. So,
yeah.
Damn it! I thought that I gave him a wrench. Jason, comment again, dude. Yeah, there you go. All right, you're good, dude.
Oh man, you freaking probably banned me
For being
gay. I heard that. So I did blast some Defiant TCX this past Monday, I think, when I was off.
Word.
Yeah, man. Ran it through.
I saw that testing that you did too. That shit looked pretty tight.
The 365 and a couple Glock 19s. So pretty sure the 19 was the test pistol anyway. So everybody knows they'll run through that. So
nice.
Yeah, pretty tight and no problem pinging steel at 25 yards. I couldn't really find any of the copper though after the steel. It's a little bit grown up underneath the steel targets. I was hoping to find some of the copper stuff. So, or sorry, the actual rounds.
So Mike says, what the hell is the wrench for? Mike, it makes them moderators. So if anybody says stupid shit in the comments that we don't like, they can just ban your ass.
Everybody's got a wrench.
So
Kish said later is fine.
all right, dude, I'll get back with you as soon as this is over.
Must have been a dumb question. Don't want to get made fun of.
Or a personal one that he doesn't want on the internet.
Oh, okay.
Use penicillin. It cures about everything.
Richard Elb says Jerry was spotted visiting prepared Patriots students in Wilkes recently. So, yeah, his family's mountain folks, so he's probably passing through and checking out some of the local shops up there.
So Scott says, I'm just waiting for my slide to come back from Alcalus so I can red dot it up in my next class. Cool. So
you're gonna
Alcalus,
take that.
That is, if I'm remembering correctly, help me out, Scott. Alcalus is the one that makes the sweet suppressors and shit too, right? Wasn't he? How do I remember him? Fill me in. Mike, you gotta watch what you say, bro. You'll get the hammer,
is it Don Edwards that's teaching a red dot class after alumni? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Is he trying to get it all suited up for that, or is he going to go see the modern samurai?
I'm pretty sure that he is touted as the best in the industry with the red dot, according to several people that I trust, including James. So it is yes, I thought that's who that was, Jason. I thought he was from Red Jacket. I'm sure he's trying to probably separate himself from all that. Yeah, but that was
I used to watch that show.
That he was kind of like the brains of the whole deal anyway, wasn't he? If I remember correctly, he was the one that was like the mad scientist that did shit right.
Was he the school teacher?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was like the physics teacher or some shit or something like that. He was super smart. I know that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think he kind of took it over after the whole legal issues with all them. Man, what is it with all the shows that they put on like that though? Wasn't there another one too that came out like a long time ago? American Guns, maybe? And there was like a whole big hoopla with it too or something, man.
Who knows? Shady people everywhere.
That's no problem, Kish. I'll send you some video and stuff, but it doesn't have to be exact, man. You can do it however you like it.
Gotcha.
Max said Jason will eventually ban someone if he gets bored. That's why he was the last one to get the wrench, man. Everybody on here right now is friends. We don't have a lot of retards yet. Most of the people are legit.
Yeah, I was gonna
go ahead.
I was gonna say the other day when I was shooting or running some of that Define, I was gonna, those memes where it's like, the best way to flaunt your wealth is you're shooting 9mm into a piece of plywood or something like that. I was gonna make a video. But of all days, I forgot my selfie stick, man.
Boo.
Yeah.
So Jason says that Joe owned it the whole time, and the jackass was just the front man for TV. Well, that's kind of how it seemed. It seems like he kind of did all the shit anyway. Like if you paid attention. And Scott says, yes, Joe was the teacher.
Yeah, I thought he was.
And it says the whole time they filmed it, he was running it, that it was Ackless. So apparently that was there's a whole bunch of shit that I didn't know about all that, apparently.
Yeah,
but I knew that sounded familiar though. I knew something about it, but I couldn't remember.
He was the only legit guy that didn't have a record that could get a federal firearms license. Isn't that great?
Well, but it's so funny because like when the show first comes on and shit,
Mhm.
they have that Will Hayden dude carrying
Right.
a badge and all that shit. Like he was like,
Yeah.
you know, legit dude. Crazy.
Yeah. He had a record at that point too, and they just didn't. It just didn't come to light until after a couple of seasons went by.
I got you. It's crazy, man. So Scott says as soon
Ron,
as he
how's
can
that?
get there,
Go ahead, brother.
Scott said that as soon as he can get their new can, that he is ordering it. It's the tits. I thought that was what they were kind of famous for. Don't they make like the best 22 suppressor or something? Is that what I remember?
I've got one of their
Or
Speaking
silencer or whatever.
I've got one of their 223 556s, and it's pretty nice. I mean, it's not, a nail driver, but I mean, it's pretty nice. But.
Speaking of cans, I've been waiting about 7 months for one.
Yeah,
Nice.
you got about 4 more to go.
Messed up, man.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully between now and then, if Pete Jr., if you're watching, you'll make some more subsonic AK ammo. I saw you just listed some, I think 124 grain, 7.62 by 39, but Matto needs some subsonic AK ammo.
And some 300 blackout.
Well, I think he's got some of that, doesn't he?
Subsonic.
Doesn't he have some? I thought I saw him post some.
The stuff that I saw
He's out
of stock.
Oh, okay.
We got the 308, but we didn't get the 300. So. Matt, what were you going to ask me?
Damn.
I was asking how. Go ahead, Patrick's got something to talk about.
Scott said he's 11 months in waiting for his.
Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Omen. That's not a good omen for yours. So
I was 9.5 months on mine, and that was a year and a half ago before all the craziness hit. So I can imagine what it's going to be now.
Yep. I put mine in like the Saturday after Christmas, once I had all my Christmas monies.
There you go.
Thought I was cool. Went and bought a can. Went to see our friend Kevin Caldwell.
Yeah.
So, since that's his specialty.
I hear you.
No, Ryan, I was going to ask you how Peppermint Prep was going, my man.
So I'm polishing off a few more of the topics.
Did you work on what we talked about?
Yes. And actually that was one of the things that I had added back in at the very beginning. So I think how I'm going to address this is, number one, we're going to be teaching these tactics, these skills to these individuals who are going to have to make their own decision exactly how far they're willing to go. And that will be based on each person's skill set, their inventory, their desire to want to carry it out as far as they can. But that's going to be all on an individual basis. And the other thing, of course, these skill sets are not designed to be just whipped out and utilized directly in the middle of the fight. And I think Matt made a good point on someone had posted a video, a few weeks back, about putting the tourniquet on, in the fight or directly out of the fight. But, the first thing is you got to secure and make sure that that scene's safe and that all the bad guys are not going to be finding where your general location is. So yeah, I've added those two things into that. But I'm going to do it in the thought process of it's going to be up to the individual, because some people are going to be better prepared equipment wise, mindset wise, accessories wise to prolong these skills that we're going to be teaching, where other people are going to be bare basics, bare minimums. And it's going to be totally up to each person to figure out, what am I willing to do? How far am I willing to go? Because I mean, I can teach you the skills, but it's going to be up to you to figure out when and where and how long you're going to want to, to keep them up and running.
Awesome. I think you give John Kranz, he gets he's got some good sayings, some stuff he comes out with. He said, back to the can topic, not to cut you off, Ron, but he says, American Idol can process 2 million votes during a commercial break, but the AFT takes a year to run a tax stamp.
All while they have your $200.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you spent however many hundreds of dollars on the can itself.
Right. So. Well, hell, we've already
Max
that they can't count votes during an election as fast as they can count them on American Idol either.
So Jason, Jason had said on here that bad guys the most important via the 5 B's of medical. Absolutely, Jason. Yep. The thing about prep or med classes, though, it's kind of assumed that you've already had a class on that. You've already taken med low light with us, or you've taken like another immediate action medical, something like that covers that first base. This is like what to do when help's not coming. Like shit hits the fan in the world kind of stuff. And like, here you go. Like, this is what you need to know to kind of keep things going in the majority of situations, and being as prepared as you possibly can be without having a full hospital available, basically. Right, Ron? I mean, that's kind of where we're heading with that.
That's correct. And like I said, it's, I'm sure some people are going to say, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be driving needles. I don't want to be.
I don't know. I think that you forget our clientele. Like most of the people coming for us are of a different mindset. They're of a higher caliber of people. So I think that most of them are there to learn that stuff because they feel like if they just had the know-how, they could do that and keep their family alive. I don't think this is a class for just everybody, though. You got to have the right mindset and that you're willing to do whatever it takes to keep your family and friends alive.
Right. And we're going to have some surprises in some of the practical sets anyway that, it's easy to sit and listen to a lecture and walk through, oh, yeah, I got to find this location. Here's a landmark, and I've got to insert this needle into this landmark, blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to try to spice it up and talk with Matt and talk with you and we kind of came up with some pretty cool ideas to make it more realistic, I guess, more than just using a latex dummy or a mannequin to practice on. And so I'm hoping that being able to get this kind of hands-on information and practice will kind of turn the light bulb on and have people say, hey, look, all right, I've learned how to do skills A, B, and C. Hey, I think I want to go further. I want to learn how to legitimately provide, a higher level of care. And so I'm hoping that'll turn a lot of people's focus more to getting more med, because you always coin the term, the med is the primary skill that needs to be learned, because not only can you use it for yourself, but your family, your loved ones, or some stranger on the street, or heaven forbid, somebody that we have to engage. So
don't forget pets and livestock.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
They're very valuable.
You can suture your horse up, after this class. You're going to be able to staple your horse up after this class.
Well,
or maybe you're like Matt O'Neill and have to use it with one of your children. I mean, all of this stuff is real life stuff,
Staples to the dome.
I wasn't going to go there. But since
let's just say part of stuff's hit the fan, and part of your security plan is a German Shepherd that takes a gash. You know what I mean? And you got to be able to maybe sew that bad boy up or staple them up. You'll keep them in the security rotation.
Yeah. Well, and as you saw, it didn't have to be a malicious injury. It didn't have to be that somebody was in a fight. It didn't have to be that somebody was in a car accident or any of that nature. You know, your kid took a ricochet rock to the head, and you know, we had to do what we had to do to get it closed up. And you saw having the tools on hand and readily available really made for a, I guess, less painful experience for him. So
that and I probably saved $600 to $1,000 trip to
every bit.
somewhere. Why is Jason Rapport want to sew on my face? This is a pretty dome over here, man. What's going on? I want to so bad, say.
So Ariel says, I've heard dogs and cats are easy to stick for IV access. Yes, my wife was a vet nurse, so she has some experience with that. And I don't think it's much different, Ariel. Other than the veins are somewhat easier to find. And the dog, but the dog won't hold still usually. That's the issue there.
True.
I'm about to put Jason Rapport in the Buffalo Bill category, man. He's starting to get kind of weird on us. I wonder if he's got like a pit at his place and squirts water on people.
Well, you know, like I said, going back to that, I'm polishing off some of the lecture stuff now. I've got one more of the trainers that actually I have to probably pick up this weekend that we're going to be able to utilize as multiple extremities, so we can do tourniquet applications, wound packing, dressings, compression dressings, and all that kind of stuff with. And I have to give props to it. I mean, I started the creation and I had to pass it off to one of the makeup artists that my daughter, she operates Lake Hickory Haunts, so they have access to makeup artists who can make all of these injuries and wounds look realistic. And so I've got to pick that up this weekend. Got a few more materials that we need to get in, so we'll have extra just in case we damage or lose some during the practical portion. But yeah, we're well on the way. I had an excellent conversation. You know, it's sometimes it's not that you know everything, but you know people who know more than you. And I had an excellent conversation with one of my friends who is a PharmD, and got some very good input on medications for storage and suggestions for supplements and things like that to have in your goodie bag or on your shelf for times of trouble and need. And actually learned a few things about some insulin storage and things that I was having a hard time trying to put together information for folks who would require long-term insulin injections for diabetes type 1. And he was able to help me out and got me some fairly good information that I think is going to be beneficial for those folks, because let's face it, diabetes and hypertension are the two number one disease processes in the United States right now that people are going to have medications for. You know, if supply chains shut down, if the pharmacies close, if somebody makes a right and a run on Walmart, you know, whatever situation you may be in, or you just want to go and live off the grid for a month or 2 months and just be in the backwoods in Montana, or, you know, go up into Avery County or Wilkes County, and you don't want to be around anybody, what do you need to take with you extra? And he gave me some really good input, and it was very, very beneficial discussion with him. And I'm hoping that I can get that into some form of check sheet. But once again, you know, every person is going to have to prep based on their individual needs. And so it's not like I can cover and say you've got to have one of everything of these, because it's just unrealistic. But like Patrick has said before, you basically prep on what you figure your unit, your family unit, or your group is going to have and require, and then you just build upon that, and each individual's needs would have to be addressed. So That's
So-
where I'm at.
So you said something there, Ron, that, you know, you blew past it, but it's something that somebody told me one time. They said a truly wise man learns to take wise advice from wiser men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that means something, dude. Like the fact that, you know, okay, like this is the part that I'm weak in, and you're willing to go step out and talk to someone who's the
Right.
best you can find in the area. That's what we expect, dude. Like that's exactly what we do. Anytime we don't know something, that's why we train, right? That's why we do what we do, is to go find somebody that knows better than we do, so that we can bring that information back to the people that we're trying to help. That's just the way it is.
Right.
You can't know everything, and to believe that you do is Jordan Peterson said something about that. It's like truly hell when you believe that you know all things, and like it's something to that extent. Y'all should read Jordan Peterson if you hadn't. It's really crazy. Like the dude is insanely smart and takes me down mental pathways that are awesome. Like y'all should check him out. He's worth reading.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting, man. It's interesting that you said that, because that's what I heard out of everything you said, was that I'm willing to take wise advice from wiser men about things I don't know.
And once again, like I said, I'm there's just so much information and so many medications and procedures, and there's so much stuff that I want to just bring to the class and say, okay, this is what we need to know. But we're restricted on time. We're restricted on, you know, are we going to be able to keep everybody's attention? And I think with the practicals and stuff that we're doing, we're going to well maintain their attention and their focus. But there's just so much that I'm having to condense it down. And, you know, it's like I was talking to Matt, you know, we're probably going to have to plan Prepper Med 2, because hopefully once these people get on fire for the practicals that we're teaching, and this was the other thing, the last meeting that we had, I kind of like unofficially surveyed folks in the meeting, and I did it, and unbeknownst to you guys as well. You know, there's some equipment that you guys were carrying, and that other people were carrying, that they've never had it out of the sheath. Didn't realize, hey, there's something better out there than what I'm carrying around in my IFAC.
It's very true.
And you know, that kind of intrigues me to say, okay, you know, I need to get this person, that person, the other person up to speed on using these things. And like I said, there's just so much information out there that I want to kind of disseminate, but it's just hard for me to pick it out. And so I've had to go through and just kind of get the highlights. And like I said, I think there's going to be enough stuff that we've not covered and talked about that we would need to build another one.
If it makes you feel any better, I think Ariel Tactical Bits just volunteered herself for something. She said, Doc, if you could make a quick list or recommend some books about local plants that would be valuable for common things, constipation, diarrhea, vitamin, and electrolyte stuff, that'd be handy. Sounds like a good idea.
I think
Co-instructor.
Good idea for Tactical Bits to research that, and she can incorporate that into Prepper Med 2 when we teach the next step. How's that?
What to do when the meds run out. I like that.
Exactly.
That's a good place to go.
Herbal teas, you know, tree barks and stuff like that.
One of the smartest people I've known on that stuff is Alan Kay. Like that dude is a wizard when it comes to stuff in our area that you can use to make different tinctures and different stuff to you know, soothe all kinds of different ailments. Like that would be where I would start, Ariel.
Yeah.
Ariel says this turned sideways on me. That's right, girl. That's right. Volunteered yourself.
That's what you get for being what they call that in the military, an idea fairy.
I like it.
Right. That's right.
Ariel, I will accept your volunteering to research that, and I will totally give you credit for all of that information.
Did I just hear Chief Medical Officer stamp of approval? It's done. Ariel, you're elected.
I hear an assistant to the Chief Medical Officer position.
That's right. Coming up.
Or Vice Medical Officer.
So Jason says he took fighting rifle with Alan Kay. Like from what I know about the dude, Jason, he seems on point. Like, I've never met him. I don't know him, but everything I know about him and the stuff that he teaches, like, that dude's he's pretty smart, especially on the survival, like, homestead side of stuff. Like, he seems pretty legit.
I have to ask Jason how my next batch of t-shirts are coming. See if I can pressure him into getting them to us before this class we're talking about.
So Junkie says
people
for
there.
high blood pressure, etc. This guy prepared homestead seems to be good at it too. There's some people around here, and I think a good place to turn for you guys that are looking that don't know where to look is look to the Native Americans, man. Like, they had a ton of stuff that they knew that they were using that was working. Now, they weren't great at everything. Obviously, they'd have figured out smallpox and not died, but you know, there was a lot of ways that they were doing stuff in the local area that you could take a lot of lessons from them, you know.
That was an eradication effort perpetrated by the British.
Yeah.
You invade a foreign country, you deplete their native people, their resource, and take their resources. I mean, the smallpox, that was it. COVID-19, there you
go. Good night, Scott.
Don't get them started.
Dylan says, violated the core rules. Never be first, never be last, and never volunteer. That's absolutely right. Dead nuts. Hey, so Junkie, you said there's a lot to do, dude. So how many, I can't remember how many acres you said you have, and you don't have to post it, but I bet you're learning to love the mowing section now, right? Like, homeboy's about to figure out what mowing is like for a country homestead. That's like a whole day event for most people. It's legit.
Patrick might have to talk about his recent upgrade.
Well, I'll just tell you, Junkie, dude, like, our little homestead, we're typically mowing about probably, what do you think, 5 acres, Matt? It's probably about 5 acres that I mow. There's some that's not cleared, so probably about 4 to 5 acres. And there for a while, dude, it was taking me like 3 hours to mow. But upgrading to a better mower, like, if y'all have not done the zero turn life and upgraded in some good equipment, dude, it took 2 hours off of my mow time, which straight up is like game changer for me, dude. Like, I can actually get a workout in on the same day I mow now, which is huge. Junkie said, pay someone to mow today before I drop 5K next week on a mower. Dude, I get you. Zero turn is life. Get one that's comfortable, because, like, it's a whole different ball game on a homestead. Like, it'll beat you to death if it's cow country and stuff, man.
You ought to mow and bale that stuff, man.
Dude, like,
dude.
There is so much baled here already, it's not needed. Do you know what I mean? Like,
you could sell it, man.
Does the neighbor have his own equipment?
Yeah, the neighbor does.
These guys own bale,
but he's got enough that he keeps up several farms and stuff. You know what I mean, around this area, so it's really not needed that much. Ariel says, Patrick, you're a little quiet on the mic. I'm sorry.
Doc went on a monologue.
Y'all are just used to me freaking, like, talking all the time is the problem. I've just said I don't have much to say tonight. I don't know. I don't have anything to talk about. Y'all got to give me something to go with. I feel like I've already discussed everything that's important to most people in my life that I give a shit about. Like, the new people, like, you got to ask questions. I don't know what you don't know yet.
So, Matt, what's the final tally? I know you said it was full. What was the final tally on the student count?
We decided to cap it at 20.
Okay, so I need a minimum of 20 binders then to put the presentation and stuff together. Is that right?
If you want to get that fancy.
Okay.
Well, or we can, typically for class, like for the PowerPoint for Epistle 1, we just I'll do front to back copies of 2 slides per sheet. So
yeah,
we can do it. We could do it that way too if we had to. Or we can. You get it to me. I can get it to Office Depot or whatever the store is, and let them do the hard, heavy lifting and just swipe the card.
going to be a lot more slides and a lot more information and stuff than that. It probably would need to put it in some sort of small binder or something like that. Plus the meds lists and stuff like that I was planning on incorporating toward the.
Don't be breaking the bank, Doc. Come on, man.
All right, so I'm going to address some homesteading stuff here. So, couple comments. Jason says 0 turn. That's pussy shit. I have to use a butterfly bush hog to mow. I have some areas like that, Jason, that require bush hogging that I do not mow. This is just the mow section. And then Richard says farm tractor with a batwing finish mower. That's the way to go. Tried that. It sucked. No, thank you. Especially on the hills that I have, dude. No freaking way.
Yeah, Junkie's gonna want something for that around
pond.
that pond.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my advice, out of all the things I've tried, what I went with that works the best for me, Ferris Z3X stand-on chariot type 61-inch, hell to the yes. Like that is legit. Yeah. Like that thing is legit.
Turbocharged diesel.
Dude, listen, I've never been so excited about a piece of equipment I bought, but this thing like made my life so much better. Like for real. I used to get off the mower.
I'm gonna ride it next time I see that sucker, man.
I used to get off the mower with my back killing me and all that. This time I got off, I was able to play with the kids, push them on the swing. Like, good, dude.
You guys are gonna see a video of old Meadow riding on the mower with American flag in one hand and
drinking a beer in the other.
I have to get me a mullet. Gotta get me a mullet wig.
If you ain't first, you're last, right?
That's right.
Business
so what those junkies said, text me that info, Patrick. So you're talking about which mower you need? I will do it, sir. Now, I would say that unless you got like a lot of open area, you might not need the 61. You might go with like a 52-inch. 61 might be big if you got like fences or something you got to go into. But like for me, dude, it's mostly just balls to the wall fieldage and acreage and stuff. So like, man, 61-inch was perfect for me.
What's the top speed on that bad boy? Do you know? Did you do any research on it?
Mowing at 12 miles
12 miles an hour?
Hell yeah, dude.
Holy yeah. That's like as fast as like the average human can run.
Dude, I'm going through the field. I told you it's so fast it like turns donuts in the field, man. Like it's legit.
Can we make a couple can we pile up some dirt and do a couple jumps? Awesome.
It's like a damn
with my
goat,
beard
dude.
American flag.
It's like a billy goat. It will literally climb any hill that I've been on. Like it's awesome, dude.
There's no telling what those things cost brand new, though. You know what I mean?
About 12 or 13. Yeah, about 12 or 13.
Yeah, you have to tell a junkie to make sure he finds one on the secondary market. Or try to.
You can sometimes find one, but it's hard. It's not easy. I looked for a long time before I found this one. That was a good deal. But yeah, they're not cheap, dude. Evan Dixon said to someone say donuts. Yes, a mower that does donuts. It's legit.
It's like old Homer Simpson.
Ariel says this sounds like a conversation grandpas have. Ariel says this sounds like a conversation grandpas have on the front porch of the rocking chairs with a beer in your hand. That's basically what we're doing, Ariel. It's basically that's pretty much it. Yep.
We are here to solve the world's problems, and mowing grass is a problem. That's what I'm saying.
So I think the biggest one they make is a 72 in that model. So you can get 72, 61, 52, I think. So that's 52 huge. Would be the smaller. Huge. 61 is kind of in the middle. 72 is probably too damn big.
That's
so
man.
John says he takes 24 beers on the mower, only gets 6 shook up beers down the pipe. The rest are on a shirt. No, you got to drive it with both hands. It's like a damn bulldozer. So you don't really have a hand free. If you want to drink something, you got to stop, man.
Just stay on private property, because I do know somebody that got pulled over for riding down the road on a lawnmower with a beer in his hand. Just saying. Stay on private property.
George Jones?
Jason says 16 feet. 16 feet. So in other words, get off the right of way too. But you know me, I don't have to worry about that. There's nothing up here for but me, dude.
There you go. That's a good point.
You
Don't
that's
seek legal advice from this live stream.
for sure. All right, dudes, it's looking like we're getting up on the 1 hour mark. Any other questions? We're gonna cut it out for tonight, guys. This has been a weird live stream. It's been good, but weird.
Appreciate you guys lending a hand in some topics of conversation.
All right, guys. So
Ariel,
don't forget
getting appointed to a new position.
We got comprehensive carry this weekend.
Yeah, we got a comprehensive carry this weekend. Jerry and I, old Ron might be stopping by for some range time, helping us out.
Nice.
Keeping fingers off triggers and all that stuff. And so we got comprehensive concealed carry this weekend, August 21st, and then September 11th. Our next Peppermint's coming up, but it's sold out. We're working on that law enforcement event. That's in mid-August, and then Prepared Pistol 1, it's a Sunday date, September 12th. That's kind of the foreseeable future. And then we've got Pistol 2 in October coming up. So all that's on the website, preparedpatriotnc.com. Just slide over, hit that schedule tab, and it'll have a whole list of our classes. If you're interested in training with us, come check us out.
Check out Prepare Patriot NC, right, for the schedule, and they can see all that listed back out to them.
Yeah. Feel free to share the live stream. Get folks connected with us in the socials. And I guess until next time, we'll encourage you to carry smart, carry safe, and be prepared. Check you guys later.
Next week.
Same time.